Would you agree with me that electricity is a wonderful thing, especially in the Midwest with the hot summers that we get, and you can't sleep without the AC being kicked down to about 70, 72? Well, electricity can also hurt when used inappropriately. About 25 years ago, I was still in corporate, and where the business was located, the town, a tornado had come through. While we were at work, a group of us decided to walk up the steep hill to the main thoroughfare to get a better view of what damage might be done. And we get up to the top, we're huffing and panting because it was a pretty steep hill. And we could see the first responders running around the area trying to secure it. Well, we decided to sit down on the guardrail there at the side of the road until we heard them screaming at us to get away from there. You see, there were downed power lines that were laying across that metal guardrail, and we were getting ready to electrocute ourselves. Sometimes things can happen accidentally. We don't mean them to, and we wind up getting hurt. Sometimes it was someone else's carelessness. Sometimes it was on purpose. It does not matter. The pain is still there. And if you went through an experience that was intense enough that a part of your personality froze in time, or maybe it was repeated experiences where you did not have the tools, the authority, the power to get yourself out of it, well, that pain can continue to shock you. Even nowadays, it gets triggered, and there's nothing it seems like you can do about it. Well, yes, there is. But you have to give it a purpose. The pain must be given a purpose for progress. It must be told that this is what it's supposed to plug into to assist you. Okay, so let's look at the three major categories that you can utilize in giving your pain a purpose for progress. And the first one is bitching, moaning, whining, and complaining. That's right. We all have stories, and we need to tell those stories, and we need to tell them to someone who's safe and secure, not where they're necessarily going to help us fix anything, just where they can validate what we've been through. You know, this whole BBS, and I call that bad belief systems of always be positive and look on the good side. No, even Jesus at one point, when he got really frustrated with the disciples, looked at him and said, "How much longer am I going to have to suffer, you fools?" Mm-hmm. We need to be able to share in a way where someone can look at us and go, "That wasn't right." And I'm here for you, even if it's just to listen. And sometimes, even though that pain could have been a long, long time ago, we still need to have someone look at us and go, "Yeah, that wasn't right. That was absolutely wrong. And I hear you and I see you." But we cannot get stuck in telling the same story over and over again, because then what happens is we become habituated to those emotions of drama, crisis, chaos, and confusion. And then unfortunately, our RAS, reticular activating system, whose job it is to scan our environment 24/7 and look for the things that are going to be used as fuel. Well, it can become habituated. It can learn that it's supposed to seek out drama, crisis, chaos, and confusion. And you repeat the same cycle over and over again. So the second one is, after you've told your story, when that pain shows up, it's a good indicator there is something outside of you that needs to be upgraded. I can already hear some of you going, well, I thought it was supposed to be that I'm supposed to change something on the inside. That's the last thing that you need to get to. And here's the reason why. Learned helplessness. The very first P out of the 4 P's is you take it personal. Oh, everything is your fault and you need to take responsibility for changing it. That's how you were manipulated. You were taught to take on someone else's BBS, bad belief systems. You know what? You can't change anybody else. You can only upgrade yourself. But that does come through your environment. And so, yeah, maybe it's things that are triggering you that need to be moved out. Maybe it's people that you either need to relate to in an upgraded way, or maybe they need to be moved out. It is not always up to you. So, there are some things in your life that need to be upgraded that are on the outside. And then the third choice is what needs to be upgraded internally. Because when you went through an experience where you were overwhelmed, where you were emotionally flooded, and when you experienced learned helplessness, that there was nothing you could do to make it any better, that part of your personality is still getting triggered. And it's not who you are today, it's who you were back then. Maybe you were 25, maybe you were 12. But that level of your maturity is showing up with the same limited capacity that you had when you went through the experience. We have to flip it. We have to flip the switch. There is another side of you. Everything that you've learned since then, and even more that you're not even cognitively aware of, that is ready to support you in your next level of achievement. That's what needs to be brought out. But until you take that plug that is attached to the pain and put it into a different socket, one that actually can handle that ampage, well, until you do that, you are going to continue to experience the reactions based on that younger you. Okay, so those are your 3 choices of giving pain a purpose for progress. You need to be able to tell your story. There are things in your environment, people, places, and things that need to be upgraded. And then internally, who you are when that pain shows up now needs to be upgraded to who can handle it. Until we get together again, blessings on your brilliance.